Hello everyone, boom, it is your boy Deska Pens, and today I have a very nice pen for you. And this is a very similar pen to a pen that I am all too fond of. Perhaps it is the little brother to my grail pen. Does that make it a runner-up? Well, we will see as we take a look at the Pilot Decimo fountain pen. Let us begin. So just kind of looking at this beautiful pen, right? We have just an absolute gorgeous pen, a gorgeous design. I love the black color with the silver, so I couldn't help it. Here we have the Pilot Vanishing Point, boom. This one totaled out to about 180 bucks, but 168 on Amazon. I realized I didn't quite talk about shipping. This was like 132. I forget how much I paid in total in shipping, but that is the listing price right now. And this is just a really nice pen. So kind of looking at it, right, let me bring back the Pilot Vanishing Point. There's a few distinct differences that I'd like to talk about. So if you kind of look up here at sort of the top, obviously because this is thinner, there's kind of a different shape to it. I feel like this is a little more rounded kind of up here, whereas this part right here seems a touch bit more squared. It seems a touch more squared. There we go. The clip, of course, is also different, where the Pilot Vanishing Point kind of has these little sort of notches that you can grab onto and just write with. Our beautiful Decimo is a little more, you know, kind of, once again, squared off. And that actually makes sense to me because this thing is still really thin. Well, it's not jotter thin, right? But it's still, you know, reasonably thin. And so it's like, you know, where you want this one to have a little more sort of cushioning, if you will, a little more grip, or a little more kind of a place to rest your wonderful finger. This is meant to kind of help you sort of get a little more grip on the pen by it not being so squared off and having a little more rest for the finger. I guess down in here you get a little bit more, but you know, I tend to back grip my pen a little bit. It's more on this part because this part is a little more grippy compared to the metal, and so yeah. But yeah. And this is a very nice pen, a very nice clicking mechanism. As we go into the refill, we see that it too also has metal threads, which is cool. And then we have a refill right here. This is currently filled up with Take Sume, which is a very nice black colored ink. The Vanishing Point right now has this thing called Sepia Black, which is kind of a reddish brown in all honesty. But I mean, you know, it's still a very nice pen. So yeah, so now let's just get into a bit of a writing sample. Boom. So this is the Pilot. And yeah, you see that's just gorgeous and smooth. Holy smokes. Pilot. Its whole name technically is the Pilot Decimo Vanishing Point. And it means I get to write more, so I guess I'm gonna honor that. And this is in an 18K medium nib. I should have said that earlier. I apologize. And it's just buttery smooth. And for those of you wondering, the Vanishing Point is also in a medium nib. Medium nib. Now let's just get into a little example sentence. Something I just absolutely love about this pen is, like, you know, it's very bouncy. Well, not bouncy. I don't know if you're meant to kind of push down on it. Like, obviously, I think that could hurt the gold nib, so let me not do that for the sake of everybody's mental health. But the thing that I absolutely just adore about this pen is just how tranquil the writing experience is. It's very peaceful. Let me just do that. You know, the bounciness of it makes it so any pressure just kind of, you don't feel it. It just feels like it's nice and absorbed. It has the perfect balance between smoothness And then just a nice bouncy flow, and it's just, I'm not really sure I know better than this, you know, beautiful Pilot nib. Sorry, I just wanted to do that. Boom. Let's see. It makes kind of a cool noise when it writes. Well, at least this one does. The other one actually doesn't do that. The other one's just like dead quiet, which is kind of cool, right? But yeah, overall, this is just super nice. It's a really nice one. And then another like cool feature to it. Sorry, let me, there we go. Is that if you were to look at these nibs, right, it's like, because these pens are essentially just brothers, it's like, you know, the nibs are like, you know, identical. It's just a medium nib, 18K. This one is sepia black. This one is Takesume. You know, just, and the nice thing is that they're totally interchangeable. So I can take this, put that right there, take this, put that right there, screw them both back on. And suddenly, you have a whole different color and nib, which is nice. Which is very nice. As you can see, I am a little more comfortable with this pen just because it's a little bit thicker, but I still couldn't help but just, you know, kind of wonder, like, what is the point with this one? What's the interesting thing about it? And honestly, what I'll say is this: it's like, if you're looking to budget a little more, if 168 is just a little too high, but you know, you could go into the 150 zone, I would say that the Decimo is like definitely the one for you, because like the nibs are essentially very smooth and very nice and very soft. Obviously, one thing I will say is that the Decimo itself does make me wonder a little bit about Pilot's quality control, because in all honesty, like the nib that came with my vanishing point feels a bit smoother compared to the one that came with the Decimo. But that's not to say that the Decimo is a bad pen. I'm just saying that, you know, you may need to kind of look at it and, I don't know, maybe sort of, how would I say that? You might want to consider, you know, sending it off to Nibmeister or somebody who's gonna, you know, just kind of refine it and make sure it's smooth like butter. But yeah, very smooth, very soft nibs. And overall, I just absolutely enjoy them. You know, they're nice, they're bouncy, but, you know, not too bouncy to the point where you feel all this weird feedback. It's like, it's smooth, and like the bounciness just like makes up for any kind of feedback that you would feel. And yeah, and so I mean, overall, I just think that these are fantastic pens. Sorry, actually, hang on, this is not your video. I think that this is a phenomenal pen. I think this is a great pen, and then boom, you can see the Decimo right there. Let everybody know what you have and stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, for people who have smaller hands, for people who don't want something as big and as chunky as the Pilot Vanishing Point, it's like the Decimo is a great option, you know. It's very convenient, very classy. Ooh. Yeah. You see, yeah, so admittedly, this nib right here, this one is the one that came from the Vanishing Point, and it's a little bit smoother. And so, yeah, so that is one thing to keep in mind, you know, reflecting on everything. This is something to keep in mind. But yeah, overall, just a phenomenal fountain pen. And yeah, I recommend it to everybody. And this is Desca Pens. Whoop. There we go. Signing off. Bye.